So a few days ago, people they send me information. They say, "Countryman, Tibor Nagy has done it again." Tibor Nagy don't tweet. So I just know the laugh because I've been doing for my holidays. I enjoy my life, my family. So now wait that way. Tibor Nagy tell them say there are only 3 ways for them for gain so-called independence or self-determination. It talks about self-determination, not even independence. So because when I get to understand there is a difference. This man he been a diplomat. So he know the words, the way they use them. He choose the words them. He don't pick the words them randomly. Okay? It's a self-determination. So self-determination can be a federation, special status, could be autonomy of some sort, could be confederation. Those are self-determination, but not independence. So it tell them, say there are only 3 ways for them to get even that self-determination, where it not even be now full independence. So self-determination. Now either they win them through war, or they negotiate a real referendum and then people they vote, or the Cameroon government just decide for hand part of the territory to them. But if now one decide for she don't, they wait for United Nations Resolution 1608, that is a false god. So, of course, we don't already know this, and we don't already tell the Amber Fools them for such a long time. So, what was the Amber terrorists, their response? Before I bring una the Amber terrorists, their response, I want to make una look on the screen. The picture with there on the screen be very important, my country people. Them. This picture be taken for 1995. Right in the center for this picture for middle, we now go see John Foncha, and we now go see the leaders of the SCNC. We now go see ST Muna as well. We now go see Dr. Simon Munzu and a bunch of the people the way they start this SCNC and this anglophone agitation right back in the 90s. This is the foundation of what we are suffering from today with Ambazonia terrorism, the anglophone lies and manipulation. It be important for we to understand before we move on, for go talk about the tweet where Tibor Nagy tweet and talk about resolution 1608. So 1995, these people them, John Foncha, ST Muna, Dr. Simon Munzu, and the people the way they formed the SCNC, they will go to the United Nations for go try for get the United Nations as they talk for implement the United Nations Resolution 1608. According to them, the United Nations it never actually implement Resolution 1608. But then again, by the time they want to get to the United Nations, the year before, for 1994, the United Nations Trusteeship Council, it don't be disbanded. They don't still hold meetings, and they don't still get no mission, because all the 11 trust territories, them, including the former British Cameroons and the former French Cameroons, the former French Togoland and the former British Togoland, and all the other territories, the way they be there under the trusteeship mandate, they be don't already get self-governance or independence. They be don't already finish the job of decolonizing the world. So now, why that way the trusteeship council it be disbanded for 1994? Now for 1995, these people, them, including John Foncha, Dr. Simon Munzu, and ST Muna, they go for New York. Reach for they tell them the truth. They tell them, say the United Nations job, it don't be completed. There is nothing like the United Nations coming back in the so-called Southern Cameroon. Southern Cameroon is defunct. It doesn't exist. Today, it is part of Cameroon, an integral part of Cameroon. Their sovereignty has been transferred to Cameroon, to one country. So now these people, them, in their frustration, they come back for Cameroon. They buy a UN flag. They come start the lie to Anglophones them. The lie say the United Nations, if they come back for can complete the decolonization. The lie say the resolution 1608, they go come fix them or whatever nonsense. So it be very crucial for us to understand this background, because the Ambazonia terrorism itself is started because of this lie. Because of this lie about resolution 1608. Because of this lie, said the United Nations, it come back for Cameroon. When I remember for 2016, 2017, before the Amber terrorists, they take up guns, Wait till there be the full we in every single WhatsApp group, for Facebook, for Twitter, all social media platforms. And wait till these Anglophones, they be work talk. Oh, United Nations, they come. Oh, United Nations get ships at Ambas Bay. Whoa, United Nations, the UNESCO go ban school year. Whoa, United Nations, don't do this. Whoa, the Secretary General, don't do this. Whoa, United Nations Security Council, don't talk so. Whoa, the General Assembly, don't talk so. Whoa, United Nations. If they even see United Nations truck or military vehicle where they pass, they go for Central African Republic, they say United Nations don't already come. Now them this the day for Douala, they go nana for Anglophone zone, they go nana for all those lies. Now they be feel the Anglophone crisis and the agitation. They make them picking the carry check from Kradai guns to go for bush. So it be very important for understand this background before we tell when what will happen. Now, when they hear the American diplomats, they can't tell them openly, say the United Nations is not coming. Say, when I don't place all our hopes on this resolution 1608, but nothing is ever going to happen. It is a false god. So it is like Anglophones, they don't enter inside a balloon and then they don't go up, they don't raise all their hopes, put them inside that balloon. That balloon don't go stay a day in the stratosphere. A day right up 1,000 kilometers in the sky. They get their heads in the sky, hoping, wishing, wanting so-called independence. And they don't put all their hopes inside this balloon. And then now some person don't just can't take chuku as I tell when I say we do na operation chuku. It use one small chuku, it bust down bolombolo, that balloon. And then now the Anglophones, now the day in free fall, they are falling back to earth, to reality. No independence, no United Nations coming, nothing about resolution 1608. No one is coming to help you. You are on your own. So they get this realization now, and it is very painful for them to understand them. Now, make we go back. Now, when I don't get that foundation and that background story, now why that will be very important for now for understand now. When Tibor Nagy, it posts which we did on the screen for now, as we see him, say on Ambazonia, they get now only 3 ways the way they figure independence. One, if they go win with a gun, just like America be win their own. Or 2, they negotiate a real referendum, and then the people they vote for separate or self-determination. Or 3, if Cameroon government just decide for hand over part of the territory. But as far as the United Nations 1608 resolution be concerned, that is a false god. So we could go for the first response, where the Amber terrorists they respond. And they put them on the screen. Maybe when I pay attention for the screen when I go see them. So what did they respond? One of the first response, now also Tibor Nagy himself, he respond to his own post. He talks, say, unfortunately, the United Nations especially the United Nations Security Council has no teeth. It's a look at Sudan. If it cannot stop the mayhem there, what crisis can it solve? There is no such thing as an international community. No one is going to hand Ambazonia, their own country, on a silver platter. 1608 is a golden calf. A golden calf means say no go ever exist, no go ever happen. It's a false god. So if they tell them, say the United Nations Security Council has no teeth. And I don't explain this one for una before. Tawa be tell una about His Excellency Pa Philemon Yang, the former Prime Minister for Cameroon. It could be that the President of the United Nations General Assembly for September. I explain for una the importance of the General Assembly. It be more important than the United Nations Security Council today because of the quagmire of how the United Nations is be constituted. Because of the veto power where Russia get them, the United States and other countries, then the 5 permanent members then for United Nations Security Council, they get veto power. So now, for example, look at what will happen for Ukraine. Now Ukraine defied Russia, or Russia defied Ukraine. So no matter what way any person want to discuss them for United Nations Security Council, Russia go just can't veto them. If they talk something where it favor Russia, America go veto them. So United Nations Security Council it be mute and it be void. Enough it act, it get no teeth, enough it back because one party it go veto them. That is what will happen for Russia. Look at what will happen for Israel and Palestine. Regardless which way any person in the world want to do them, if they think what they want to do them, it be against Israel, USA, it could just veto them. So United Nations Security Council get no powers. It has no teeth, like Tibor Nagy the talk. That is the truth. Now, on the other hand, United Nations General Assembly, now it don't take on almost all the responsibility where Security Council be getting, because now General Assembly, they deliberate, and all the member states them for the General Assembly, all the member states them for United Nations, they get now one vote for General Assembly, and no country no get veto power. So now they fit get a resolution for General Assembly where go work. For example, they fit decide now for call which way they happen for Ukraine or Israel, say it's a human catastrophe and a humanitarian crisis. They fit decide now for send UN peacekeeping forces for day. Now the General Assembly go vote them and they go send them and they go work. But if you go now for Security Council, one of the powers, it go veto them. It no go work. So now why that way? For Philemon Yang to be president for General Assembly for the next 1 year, he get more powers for UN pass even the Antonio Guterres when the Secretary General. It be more powerful. The General Assembly now be more powerful. Now I don't digress more for explain for now what's really happen for United Nations. Now make we look at the comment where Ruth Chinege it talks say, why is the UN resolution 1608 a false god? And if it's a false god, then we will go back to the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1514, Article 76B. Why did Great Britain refuse to allow us to remain autonomous and subsequently independent? Or this one will also be a false god, words matter, hashtag conflict of interest. So if you talk about United Nations General Assembly or 1514 or the United Nations Charter Article 76B, the funniest thing I say, many of these Nkunyams them, they don't know them anything about which way they talk about. Now, when I bear with me 1 second, may I show now the United Nations Article, now which way they call them again, 76B. Okay, when I read them, this one are the key word where I want to make una see them. These few words them say the objective of the trusteeship system now for promote the political, economic, social, and educational advancement of the inhabitants of the trust territories and their progressive development towards self-government or independence as may be appropriate to that particular circumstance or the particular circumstances of each territory. They say self-government or independence. They don't talk say self-government and independence. No. So now one of the reasons why we're even the Amber fools them, they always get this thing wrong. Now because say themselves they never ever go read wait away the Article 76B it talk them. It be clear. The United Nations Charter it talks say the trusteeship system it go prepare the trust territories them for self-government or independence. If they don't give you self-government, they go give you independence. They don't go give you both. They don't go give you one. They don't go give you just independence, but they fit also give you self-government. For example, this other territory, Northern Cameroons, where did they get them? They get self-government. They join Nigeria. They govern themselves. This other territory, the Togoland, under British administration, where did they get? They get self-government. They join them with Ghana. They don't get independence. They don't get full independence. So the former British Southern Cameroon is not the only territory where it don't go through this thing, my contribution. So when I hear this woman, for example, like I show her on the screen, this Ruth, they talk about Article 76B. Yes, that's I've never read that. It's just year na year. Other people they talk them, it run go repeat them. It's just never read them because if you go read Article 76B, it tell you for day. So now just one of the comment that maybe we'll go for the other response to Tibor Nagy. So now we'll not be just getting at the Amber Fools that respond. We'll also get Black Lexon for the way they respond. For example, this one Binga, it talks say the real issue with the Southern Cameroons is the lack of leadership. What do we have in the diaspora, or what we have in the diaspora are court jesters, not leaders. It's a real leadership must come from ground zero. Independence will never be given to anybody. It must be fought and won on the battlefield. So now you get the other one, Didi say, Simeon, it talks say, that is it. It is responded to Tibor Nagy. He said, that is it. Say, they keep deceiving the fighters back home that the UN will give them independence. And this is exactly what I was saying. So now just some of the comments, and then we will look at this other one we did on the screen right now. This person talks say, the failed diplomat is fast becoming a failed lobbyist. And then we'll get Rasman talks say, the UN for now is a loud sounding nonsense organization, or better still, a toothless bulldog. They call themselves an organization to maintain world peace, but instead they cause more pain than gain. So Rasman, you're getting confused the word the and they. You need to add Y. Say THEY. When you talk, say they call themselves. Not they call themselves. Okay, just more correction. So we'll go now for number 5. So now, when I see Milichi, now one of the biggest ambassy, no white blast we did for Facebook, it make noise today. It talks say, if you are publicly discrediting the United Nations and saying they are worthless and can't commit to fulfilling their own resolution, just come out and say so. They say, until the UN announces that you are their spokesperson, then your tweet will be with it will be with or whatever responding to hashtag free the Kansas City 3. For when I not understand the Kansas City 3 where they talk now them 3 that now Langmi Nestor, yep. On a serious note, Langmi Nestor, Claude Chi, and Francis Chengi, they be incarcerated. They're there for prison right now as I speak, arrested and locked up by the United States government and charged with sponsoring terrorism in Cameroon. So now the Kansas City 3 that will military they talk about, it's a free Kansas City 3 or freedom. Of course, American government freedom. No, the Cameroon government lock them all. Now American government it catch them lock them for sponsoring Ambazonia terrorism. So Langmi Nestor, all of them are picking from Koketunja, by the way. For a Northwest struggle. Claude Chi, even an Amber terrorist from Missouri, for Kansas, they be arrested and indicted for November 2022. Since then till today, we've done for 2024 or August. They're there for prison because America don't deny them bail because they be held on terrorism charges. So I don't deliberately put Francis Chengi where they be calling a Comrade Frank, even a cabinet member for Sako Ekome, terrorist Facebook comedy internet government. So I don't deliberately put a woman because right now Francis Chengi, a different person, a warm younger. That is the truth. We need for when we don't chook up with knife, we not just chook them. When you chook you twist them, make hot fine. Now when they don't arrest you, we get to chook you, who's away hot. Now this kind of shit, nobody than Kunya and they there for Facebook. They tell we say we have to break eggs to make an omelette. Say we have to shed blood. So now when they don't arrest you, lock them. I get to be realistic for 10 days. So you woman there now, since November 2022, for August 2024, we're there for you now. So you want to tell me say woman need to get and not get boyfriend for some side with the I mean, she's only human. She's only human. You there from Gata there, you get your savon. Your woman there too for outside there, they get your own different thing where they use them for keep warm, you know, especially in the winter months. And only for paint the picture may be too clear than that. So it's about time. We too, we need for pay una in our own coins them. So now lang minutes to that. On a serious note, now lang minutes to that. Claude Chi, Francis Cheney. Now the people in that way, Millie Chi, in the talk say, free the Kansas City 3. Freedom, of course. Tibor Nagy, go free them. Okay. So we'll look at the next comment now. This one is coming from Brenda. Asongi Brenda. It talks a Cameroon cannot be separated by scoundrels, monsters, and failed American diplomat and terrorists. It tell you, ho-ha, 100%. And I appreciate you, Madame Brenda Asongi. So now it go on now for also post to Tibor Nagy, he predecessor Herman Cohen, where be also been at the former Assistant Secretary for African Affairs, with the same position where Tibor Nagy behold Herman Cohen, he behold that position a few years before Tibor Nagy. But so my show now wait away Cohen, Herman Cohen be the poster, and terrorists they be flocked to a Twitter page. They retweet, they retweet, they share them. Now wait till that way post them. See that post where Cohen they be post them for September 2018, where it talks it is time. It said time is running out for Cameroon government in the anglophone regions return to the pre-1972 federation within 1 year or face a total secession into Ambazonia. That way Cohen be the post this one. He and Tibor Nagy. No. At this time, it don't be been at Tibor Nagy. This one at 2018. At this time, Tibor Nagy be been a under secretary to African Affairs. He be been a cabinet minister under Donald Trump administration. At that time, Ambazonia terrorists, they be like Cohen, they be hate Tibor Nagy. And I go play Tibor Nagy video. Time will be still be in a cabinet position, minister for American government. I go play a video in a few minutes. Wait Tibor Nagy be talking. So at this time, this retired ambassador Cohen, it be post this kind of nonsense. Amber fools the day for day, they're glad, they share he post, they celebrate them. That one at 2018, where talk say if Cameroon government no return to pre-1972 federation within 1 year, then they go face secession into Ambazonia. So September 2019 can pass, we no go back to federation. September 2020, we no go back into federation. 2021 December, where Herman Cohen, the same Herman Cohen, na NDC can post them. So now they post that. By this time now, Tibor Nagy, Amber, they don't leave Herman Cohen. Now they follow na Tibor Nagy because Tibor Nagy now he don't retire. He started doing the same stupidity way Herman Cohen be the do am. Now make us put on because when I go remember this one we did on the screen. This one now the screenshot from my mobile phone, and this one na screenshot from my laptop because my laptop is there in dark mode. So when I see that the same tweet this for December 2021, where Herman Cohen be talk say, having effectively prevented the Anglophone separatists from achieving their political objective, the Cameroon government should now initiate a process of reconciliation that would emphasize regional, cultural autonomy, of course, within one Cameroon, which is something similar to what Capo Daniel, the preacher today, say devolution, even though Capo Daniel don't know how to pronounce them. So when I say I'm saying the same Herman J. Cohen, where Ebe talks, say, make Cameroon government go back to federation now, within 1 year, else they go get Ambazonia. The same Herman J. Cohen, he can tell and say, basically, the Amber terrorists, they don't fail in their political objective. So it asked Cameroon government now, say, they just initiate a reconciliation process, and it emphasize me they go into some kind of regional and cultural autonomy, which is what Capo Daniel is saying now. But that time for December 2021, even the Capo Daniel be said, no, Herman Cohen, no, you are wrong, no. So when I see how they defeat the Amber terrorism every single day, and they bring una the evidence, make una see them with our own eyes. So now make we play for una some of the videos there. Make a play for now. Wait Tibor Nagy. It tell this Amber fools them for their face. Okay, make a play for now. Wait it tell them for their face. My contribute them. Wait Tibor Nagy. Now the video that we do on the screen for April 2022. After now, Tibor Nagy, it don't already retire. It tell them. It don't try your best for explaining for them. And now why someone when I vex with Tibor Nagy now say when I don't understand a diplomat. It talk in diplomatic terms. It pick. I mean it choose the words. It pick them randomly. When it tell when I say self-determination, it means self-determination. It don't mean independence. Self-determination could be autonomy. It could be federation. It could be confederation. It could be what do you call it? Devolution.
I get extremely frustrated when I hear from the Cameroonian community that they are waiting for the international community to solve the problem. And I keep telling people the brutal truth is that the international community is not going to solve the problem.
Well, I guess the message is now settling down amongst most Ambazonians because we see what is going on in Ukraine.
Another point that I have made over and over again is that it's going to be the Cameroonian community that's going to have to come up with the solution. That this is not an issue that the international community is going to solve for you. I know that's disappointing, and I know so many members of the community have the list of grievances, including the historical grievances going back to 1961 and various historical and academic points of view. And I tell people that we need to deal with reality, the way the world works, not the way we want the world to work.
So we now get to solve our own problem. So expecting or waiting on resolution 1608 or whatever, that's absolute nonsense. They don't tell them in no uncertain terms. Now we now listen to Tibor Nagy again. This time around, they don't talk to Chris Anu, but they talk now to this Nkunyam for Amber Alphabet TV for Sako Ekomeyi Gang. When I listen to what Tibor Nagy, it tell them live. As a matter of fact, just listening to the question where they pose and for ye, it first laugh. They laugh at their stupidity, whether they wait on the United Nations or they wait on the resolution 1608 or they wait to the international community, they can't solve their problem, or they wait to some different country from different side, you can't force Cameroon for dialogue with them. Listen to what Tibor Nagy tell them.
Is it too difficult to oblige La République du Cameroon to meet Ambazonia on the table and let discussions begin?
It will never happen.
Why?
If that's what we're counting on, then you will be having the same discussion in 20 years, not with me because I may be gone by then, but with somebody else. Exactly the same point. There is no country in the world that is going to say to the Republic of Cameroon, you sit down with the people of Southern Cameroons and decide on how you're going to divorce.
So when I don't hear no, now wait that way Tibor Nagy tell them, it will never happen. There is no country in this world where it will tell Cameroon government, say, go and sit down with the people of Southern Cameroon and decide how you're going to divorce. They even laugh at that notion. So, but then that the people in this way, there is still hope on resolution 1608. Now, when I listen to Tibor Nagy talk, time where he be there as American cabinet minister, the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs. Now bear with me, make I load that video on the screen, my computer. Now bear with me.
Is permanent separation of the two regions a possibility?
Sir, I don't believe so, because I think that most Cameroonians, including in the Southwest and Northwest, have a sense of Cameroonianness, and the concept of a separated, what they call Ambazonia, in my view, is not realistic. Okay. It is the view of the United States of America to recognize the integrity of the country of Cameroon.
Got it. Thank you very much.
For 2019, time where Herman Cohen will post that stupidity, say, make Cameroon government go to federation or whatever nonsense. Tibor Nagy be the cabinet member under Donald Trump administration. Time where he go to the Senate asking a simple question, whether the so-called independence of Ambazonia is realistic. Response this way Tibor Nagy give them. Now Tibor Nagy coined the word Cameroonianness. So when I don't hear what Tibor Nagy talk, it is not realistic. Ambazonia is not realistic, and the United States government, if they talk at this time as a cabinet member, the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, it talks say America is a Cameroon be one and indivisible, and the notion of Ambazonia is not realistic. Now Tibor Nagy that talk time where he be there in office.